What's up, everybody? My name is Estics, and today we're talking about 3 different tribes that you shouldn't be missing out on right now. So these tribes are not only cheap, but they're also super viable, and they're all around you. So they can be found almost anywhere on the street, or you can go to your local LGS and buy one. Honestly, I think that these are some of the strongest commander decks that I've ever seen. So let's go ahead and hop into it. So the first one I want to talk about today is squirrels. The reason I want to talk about squirrels is because they have a lot of stuff coming out from Bloomburrow right now, and they have a lot of different tribal commanders only built around squirrels. Now we have a lot of things like Camellia the Seed Miser, which give all other squirrels menace, give you a squirrel token, and they also give you a lot of buffs for your squirrels. They also have a nice one called the Odd Acorn Gang, which is also from Bloomburrow, but I want to talk about how it gets menace, trample, and reach, and then it has tap target squirrel and gets +2 and gains trample until end of turn, and then you can only activate that as a sorcery, but that gives you a couple different utilities for squirrels. So no matter what you're doing with squirrels, you can play it one or two or different ways, really. And I love them as much as I love rats, to be honest. Rats are a really fun tribe, but we won't talk about that right now. Let's get into the second tribe, dragons. Now dragons are really cool. Even though I'm actually more of a dinosaur fan, they are actually very strong and very interesting and have really cool arts. So I know what you're thinking. Whenever I say dragon tribal, you think, oh, that's going to be really expensive because of Dragon or Tiamat. No, those are really cool cards, but those are not the ones I'm talking about. I'm talking about things like Ganix, which reads, whenever Ganix, Hunter, or another dragon you control enters, create a treasure token. So that's just a cool little buff for dragons. Dragons are actually very interesting because if you think about it, dragons love treasure decks. Goldspan Dragon, Descent Dragon, stuff like that really ramp into bigger dragons. Another one that I recommend is Zurgo and Ojutai. So Zurgo is a dragon, obviously, and Ojutai is an orc, which is really cool. But Zurgo and Ojutai have hexproof as long as it entered this turn. So whenever it enters the battlefield, it gets hexproof until the end of turn. It has flying and haste, and then whenever one or more dragons you control deals combat damage to a player or a battle, look at the top 3 cards of your library and put one of them into your hand and put the rest on the bottom of your library and return one of those dragons to its owner's hand. So again, just more dragon support. And if you look, there's even a 78-cent print for Zurgo. So I mean, this is, why not fill it up with a few cheap dragons that you can just find laying around or in your collection. So the final one I want to talk about is actually one that I have. The one I want to talk about and the build that I have is actually Uritet. Uritet is a Mir tribal deck. Mir tribal is very strong, and I know what you're thinking, how is it very strong? I don't get it. It's kind of stupid, really. No, Uritet is a true 5-color Mir commander, but you don't need all 5 colors on the battlefield to play him or another Mir because they are colorless, which have a lot of ramp, and they have a lot of different cards that you can use from different colors for ramp spells and everything else. But you can also use something like Graz. Graz is actually really cool too because if you use a lot of the colorless artifact mirrors that give you colorless mana or anything like that, you can use them for Graz's ramp, and then whenever he ramps into himself, you can use those ramp rock. Instead of using them as a Mirror tribal, it turns into Juggernaut tribal, so it's like you're turning them into Juggernauts almost. It's kind of cool. I really recommend Mirror tribal, I really recommend Squirrel tribal, and I really recommend Dragon tribal. All 3 of those are really good. If you guys like this video, please leave a comment below, and I will try to see if I can do this more often. Please tell me what tribes you like. I will tell you what tribes I like. I like dinosaurs. I like mirrors. I like a lot of them. So I will do a lot of different videos on a lot of different tribes if you guys want. Thank you guys for watching, and I'd like to see you again in another video. Happy castings.